Roll Tide, Bama fans, was good? It's your boy Mizzy, and I'm here today to talk about the upcoming game. You know who's coming to town. Vandy coming to T-Town, man. This right here is a revenge game from last year. We all know what happened. We had beat Georgia last year. We went #1 in the AP poll. We was riding high. We went to Vanderbilt, but when I talking about that was one of the worst games I ever watched, I was sick to my stomach watching that game. And then, like I said, I hope the players were even more sick. So, like I said, this year, we just beat Georgia 24-21. Who we got back again? We got Vandy, but they coming to Tuscaloosa. So, hopefully we can take care of business at home. I just want to do some quick, short, and just go over a couple of things that I'm thinking key factors to this game. Man, when I was Vandy to this point, they really haven't played nobody really. But like I said, I do think this Vanderbilt team is actually better than the last year's team. And they quarterback, I don't know how many years of eligibility he got. He must got 20 years. But anyway, Vandy, they have a top 20 rushing offense this year. And we do know Bama has been struggling with stopping the run. Like I said, we'll see how that works. You know, James Smith is out this first half because, you know, the targeting call in the Georgia game, you know, that's how they do it. You be out the first half, then come back. But anyways, Bama is 90th in rushing defense right now. So that's two key factors that you got to see. Like, okay, they can run the ball. You're not great at running the ball. But we seen with the explosiveness that Bama kind of plays with that it doesn't, it's weird. It doesn't hurt them as much as you would think it does. But another thing, last year, time of possession for this game was 42 minutes to 18 minutes. You can't have that. Practically last year, they just played keep away. Keep that offense on the sideline. And then I can't remember how many turnovers Bama did have turnovers that game. That's why it's great this year. If we're 5 weeks into the season, Bama hasn't turned the ball over. Ty Simpson is great at not turning the ball over. That was one of the things I remember during camp in the summer. They was talking about, they was worried about the defense because they were saying the defense is not creating turnovers. But a lot of people start saying, man, we think this offense is just so great that they don't put the ball in reach of other people. Like, they don't make a lot of mistakes. But anyways, like I said, last year time possession was a big gap. And then, like I said, Vandy this year, Vandy is 4th in the country in third down conversions. That's because Vandy gets a lot of third and shorts, third and threes, third and twos. You want to get them in third and longs, Bama, third and 7, third and 10s. Make them pass the ball. I think last year they passed for like 100-some yards, and their quarterback ran it 20 times, but only for about 56 yards. So it was a bunch of, like I say, chewing the clock, short conversions. Like I said, you and keeping that Bama high-power offense on the sideline. I think Bama offense this year is even better than last year because the trigger man who's pulling the ball and who's passing it. But anyways, like I said, last year, man, they was riding high for beating Georgia. This year, Vandy is not sneaking up on anybody. They're not sneaking up on the Alabama fans. Everybody's prepared for a tough game. They know that they got to go in there and take care of business. The Florida State game kind of puts you on awareness, like, you know what? You got to, that A that's on the side of the helmet, you got to carry it with pride. And just because you show up don't mean you're going to win. This is a new college football. You can't look at the Vanderbilt and just think, oh, the Vanderbilt Commodore. That shows you last year. Like, nope. These teams with the NIL transfer portal, these teams have a lot more talent, and the talent gap is nowhere near as far as it used to be. Then, like I say, man, this comes down to, I really think this comes down to how good is Vanderbilt's secondary. Can Vanderbilt secondary stick with these high-powered wide receivers? Can they stick with an Isaiah, Ryan Williams, Jeremy Bernard, Brooks coming in? Like I say, Riley coming out the backfield, Jam Miller. Can if Alabama draws up a great game plan like I think they should, and I hope that we can get some, rushing from the backs. Hopefully, Jam Miller feels a little more comfortable in the offense after playing that game last week. And then, like I say, man, that's really the big key. Can the secondary, like I say, can the secondary handle Bama wide receivers, and can Alabama stop them from rushing the ball? You always want to stop a team from doing what they want to do. Make them play on your terms. Like I said, man, we all know Vanderbilt coming in this game. Vanderbilt wants to run the hell out the ball. They want to chew up the clock. They're like I said, I think they're 20th in like time of possession. And like I said, man, yeah, matter of fact, yeah, top 20 in time of possession. And we all know Alabama struggles with a mobile QB. This game will be gap integrity. Play your roles, set the edge. That's why it was kind of good. You played, like I said, the Florida State game, Tommy Castellano. So now, look, you got to set that edge. You got to take the right angles. If you don't take the right angle, there will be another third down. And like I said, Vandy quarterback, he's not a home run. Like he has good speed, but he's not a Lamar Jackson. He's a guy who's gonna get yards. And if, like I said, if you don't QB contain, don't have gap integrity, he will gas you. He will hurt you. This game will be very important. Alabama, you got to get this game, because if you want to get to where you think you can get to, and that's, like I say, in the playoffs, and hopefully, like I said, a championship, that's a long ways down the road, but you got to build onto the Georgia game. Because if you won the Georgia game and lose this one, you'll be right back where you were last year. Everybody will be like, oh, okay, you got Georgia number, but this team really ain't that good. And then last year, Vandy was 12 for 18 on third down. That's another, like I said, you got to get them off the field. When you got a chance to get them off the field, you got to get them off the field. And like I said, Bray Hubbard, he's been getting turnovers. He caused a fumble last week versus Georgia. Like I said, the running back, you got to get, like I said, you got to win the turnover battle, especially versus a team that already wants to chew the clock up. You can't give them extra opportunities to chew the clock up. So like I said, man, we got to go in this game, stay smart, play physical. Like I said, O-line, keep playing like you played last week. Ty Simpson make great decisions. In my mind, I was thinking about this game. I was like, dang, man, what do I think the score around is for some reason? And Alabama is a 10.5 point favorite this game. I'm never really concerned about the point spread. Just win the game. But in my mind, I'm thinking around 30, 35, 21 game, 35-21, 35-24, so somewhere around that range. Like I said, man, that's what I'm thinking. Like I said, if Alabama really comes in here with the aggression that they could, I could see this game getting out of hand. But like I said, I just don't know if this team has reached where they can reach yet to execute that. But anyways, guys, Alabama fans, like, comment, subscribe, share. I appreciate the love. And hey, roll tide. Like I said, man, we going to Vanderbilt this week, and let's hope we come out with a win. Let's go.